Hello and welcome to a new episode on What Does This Data Say? I am Ajay Prakash. The topic for the day is: have the governors in the Modi Raj, instead of being constitutional guardians, have they become clapper boys? The term clapper boys for a governor is rather symbolic of the state of affairs today. The clapper boy, he or she, arrives at a film shoot only to start the event. The script is written by someone else, the director is some other person, the producer is another guy, the actors are already fixed. In short, everything remains pre-decided. Our governors today are acting almost like a clapper boy of the central government. Every state has one: a grand mansion, a fleet of cars, dozens of staff, all for a man or woman who does not represent the people yet rules over the people's government, at least in theory. The governor, a relic from the Raj, once called the constitutional guardian, today many would call him the constitutional clown. Across India, Raj Bhavans have turned into political outposts, acting not as bridges between Delhi and the states, but as barricades against elected governments. So the question is worth asking: has the time come to abolish the office of the governor altogether? Because in Modi's India, the dignity of this office has been reduced to a farce. When India's constitution was written, there was a deep debate on whether the post of the governor should even exist. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar defended it, saying the governor is to be the constitutional head, not an agent of the center. Rajendra Prasad disagreed, warning it could become a backdoor for central interference. In 1950, the governor's role was designed to be limited: a ceremonial head ensuring that the state government acts within the constitution. But the real power was to rest with the elected chief minister and council of ministers. That ideal did not last long. In 1959, Nehru's government dismissed Kerala's first democratically elected communist government. That was the beginning of a long saga of political misuse. Indira Gandhi perfected it. Between 1966 and 1977, she imposed president's rule in more than 50 instances, often using the governor's report as justification. In a statement in 2023, Prime Minister Narendra Modi claimed Indira Gandhi used Article 356 50 times to dismiss state governments. However, this figure varies between 27 to 50 times. In 1977, after the emergency, the public backlash was so strong that even Indira Gandhi had to rethink. Later, the Sarkaria Commission in 1988 was set up to curb these abuses. It said the governor's office should not be used to serve political interests of the party in power at the center. But successive governments, Congress, BJP, and others, ignored that advice. By 1980s, the misuse had become so chronic that the Sarkaria Commission 1983 to 88 was tasked to restore sanity. Its report was clear and ahead of its time. It recommended that governors should be eminent, non political persons appointed only after consultation with the chief minister. They should act as impartial constitutional heads, not as extensions of the center. The Commission also suggested cooling off periods for politicians before they could be considered for the role, and greater transparency in reporting to the President. Yet, despite wide acceptance, its findings were ignored by successive governments: Congress, United Front, the BJP alike. Each found comfort in retaining a post that could be politically exploited when convenient. Even later, the Panchi Commission in 2010 repeated the same warning and met the same fate. If Indira Gandhi used governors as executioners, Modi uses them as disruptors. Under the Modi government, the Raj Bhavan has become the BJP's most reliable remote control. Let's go over a few cases. Case number one, R.N. Ravi, Tamil Nadu. Appointed in 2021, Governor R.N. Ravi has blocked bills passed by the Tamil Nadu Assembly, rewritten state speeches, and even defied Supreme Court orders on remission of convicts. The Supreme Court reminded him governors are not parallel governments, yet Ravi continues to act like one. Case number two, Bhagat Singh Koshyari of Maharashtra. In November 2019, Maharashtra witnessed one of the most controversial moments in constitutional history. At dawn, Governor Koshyari secretly sworn in Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar as Chief Minister and Deputy CM without verifying majority support. By evening, the government collapsed. The Supreme Court called it unconstitutional, but the message was clear. The Raj Bhavan had become BJP's plan B. Case 3, Jagdeep Dhankhar when he was the governor of West Bengal. In West Bengal, the then governor Jagdeep Dhankhar, who later became India's vice president, repeatedly attacked Mamata Banerjee government in public. Instead of being a constitutional umpire, he became a political commentator. Mamata once said, Raj Bhavan has turned into BJP Bhavan. She wasn't entirely wrong. Case 4, Arif Mohammad Khan, Kerala. In Kerala, Arif Mohammad Khan refused to sign bills, blocked appointments, and even clashed with universities. The Kerala Assembly passed resolutions calling his actions unconstitutional, but the centre stood by him. Silence that speaks volume. In every case, the pattern is identical: obstruction, provocation, and delay. The governor is no longer a symbol of the constitution. He has become the centre's resident troll. The S.R. Bommai judgment of 1994 was a turning point. The Supreme Court ruled that the misuse of Article 356 was unconstitutional and that majority must be tested on the floor of the House, not decided in the Raj Bhavan. But the political class learned a new trick. Don't dismiss governments, just delay them. Bills passed by state legislatures now lie unsigned for months. Chief ministers are forced to go to the Supreme Court for clearance. This is not governance, this is sabotage. In 2023, the Supreme Court again had to step in, saying the governor must not frustrate the will of the people by inaction. Yet the dance continues. What is the cost of this ceremonial power? Let's talk about the cost. India has 28 states and 8 union territories, each with a governor or lieutenant governor. The combined annual expenditure on Raj Bhavan staff and security runs into 400 to 500 crores every year, not counting perks like convoys, aircraft, or estate maintenance. Each Raj Bhavan employs over 100 staff, maintains guest houses, and hosts banquets. In some states, the annual electricity bill of the Raj Bhavan exceeds the budget of an entire village panchayat. Now imagine if these palaces were repurposed as constitutional museums, public archives, or even state universities. The Raj Bhavan of Chennai could become a museum of India's constitutional history. The one in Mumbai, an open public space for civic education that would serve the republic better than the ribbon cutting ceremonies. In April 25, the Supreme Court finally drew a line. In the state of Tamil Nadu versus Governor of Tamil Nadu, it ruled that a governor cannot keep bills pending indefinitely. Such delay amounts to a pocket veto. The court directed that assent or return must occur within a reasonable period, ideally within 1 month. Soon after, the President referred 14 constitutional questions under Article 143, seeking clarity on time limits for both governors and the President under Articles 200 and 201. The court reiterated its principle: constitutional heads must act, not stall. The ruling was both a reminder and a rebuke. The spirit of the Constitution lies in timely action, not ornamental authority. So, where do we go from here? Reform or abolish? The first option, let's talk about reforming the post. The Sarkaria Commission 1988 and the Panchi Commission 2010 both suggested reforms. Governors should be eminent people from outside active politics. Their appointments should involve consultation with the Chief Minister. Their tenure should be secure and not dependent on central whims. If implemented sincerely, these could restore some dignity to the office. Now, let's talk about abolishing the post. But there's a growing school of thought that says scrap it entirely. The office was designed for a colonial setup where the viceroy controlled provinces. In a mature democracy, it leaves no purpose except political theatre. Instead, a state constitutional ombudsman could be appointed jointly by the Supreme Court and the Election Commission to ensure constitutional compliance without political interference. That would save money, restore federal balance, and uphold democracy without middlemen in ceremonial gowns. The story of India's governors is the story of how power resists accountability. From Nehru's time to Modi's, the Raj Bhavan has been the center's hidden hand in state politics. But democracy evolves, it outgrows its colonial habits. The British left in 1947, but the Viceroy never really did. He just changed his name to a governor. Today, the governor's office stands at a crossroads. Either rediscover its constitutional dignity or make way for something better. Because no democracy deserves puppets in ceremonial palaces. It deserves leaders who answer to the people, not to Delhi. Thank you for watching. I am Ajay Prakash.